Okay, so this is going to be a short lesson on social narratives. It can be used by anyone who wants to learn more about social narratives and how they're used, who they're used with, in what settings, some examples as well. So first of all, obviously they are an example of an evidence-based practice because they have been researched and proven to be effective with use for individuals who have autism. Social narratives are visually represented stories that describe social situations and socially appropriate responses or behaviors to help individuals with autism spectrum disorder understand social situations in different ways and new ways to help them acquire and use social skills. So some social skills can include communication, life decisions and decision making, different problem solving skills, management, self-management, and like peer conversation skills that allow them to initiate and maintain positive social relationships. And social narratives are often common social scenarios that are written by family members or the school staff, where if they're a student and school, coaches like in the workplace, jobs, coaches or managers, or other people who might know the person. And they are normally adjusted to match sort of the person's needs. So right here I have an example, a very basic one. I'll kind of go into more detail of more examples. But this is a narrative called "Why Can't I Go to School?" So maybe a child's mother might sit with them and walk them through this narrative and show them the visuals while walking them through it to help them better understand why, when they're sick, they can't go to school. So what and how are they used? So what are they used for? They can be used for if the individual has experienced a social misstep. So saying maybe they said something that was rude, they hit someone, they were acting socially, typically sort of unacceptable in whatever situation. Maybe they were yelling. It can be used to help encourage different behavior. It can be used before a new experience to help ease some anxiety, to help them better understand what it might be like. So if maybe it's their first time going to the doctor's office, or maybe it's their first time going to get an oil change on their own, I don't know, just before a new experience to help them feel a little bit better about entering into a new social experience. Next, it could be used as intervention to reduce an undesired behavior or to celebrate desired behavior. It can be used to help increase an understanding of social situations, and it can also be used as form of assessment, because when narratives are created and used, teachers and practitioners gain sort of valuable insight into how the individual is thinking and feeling about different situations. So before moving on, I think it is important to note that for educators who might be using this form of evidence-based practice while learning about them, it's important to note that individuals with autism, they live in a society of mostly neurotypical people, and so that makes social situations especially difficult to navigate. So that's why these social narratives can be really helpful for them. All right, so some guidelines for presenting social narratives. So, as we've seen, social narratives are created to address various needs, and so the best way to present them can vary. Everyone's different. Some individuals might need help with different social situations than another individual, and some might need a lot more pictures, and some might need no pictures at all and just need a narrative to help them walk through a situation, So the teacher or the friend can be the one presenting the narrative to the individual, or it can be sort of collaborative and working together to practice a social situation. It's important to keep sensory differences in mind, because some individuals as well might enjoy a social narrative that includes lots of movement and maybe some sounds or a video, but some might do best to be in a quiet room with an instructor, walking through very point blank. When you're ordering food at Chipotle, this is exactly what you say, and then practicing those exact words. And then some social narratives allow the student to be completely creative on their own, and to help come up with some responses in order to practice the scenario before they have to do it in real life. So here's a video example that I found of a narrative. I thought it could be good to look at.
If you want to achieve better results, make a great impression, and save time at work, you should get...
Okay.
Frustration, a social story. Sometimes I feel frustrated.
Notice how it's showing the facial
When I am
expressions as
frustrated,
well.
I can ask my teacher if I can take a break. Can I take a break? Yes.
It's
When
going
I take
through
a
the
break,
dialogue.
I can breathe, I can write about it, I can draw about it, or just rest. When I am frustrated, I can ask my teacher if I can take a walk. Can I take a walk? Yes.
Again, walking through the dialogue. And then reinforcing with an image of the student walking.
When I am frustrated, I can ask my teacher if I can get a drink of water. Can I get a drink of water? Yes.
Yeah, so that's good. Let's go back. So another example could be cartoons. So here is a narrative example of a student at recess, and all the steps they go through while at school. So I go to recess after I go to lunch, and then I get in line and I put my jacket on. And then if the weather's nice, we go to the playground. These are some different things that I can do while I'm on the playground, waiting my turn, and then when the bell rings, I get back in line. So the instructor could walk the student through each different step to help them feel more comfortable, or to maybe help them teach them that when the bell rings, you go get in line, like in this picture. Oh, sorry, this one is a little bit blurry, but power cards are used. They're actually examples that bring in the student's special interest. So as we learned in our last chapter at the beginning of the class, a lot of individuals with autism have very, very particular special interests. So this is an example of bringing Spider-Man into it to kind of make this narrative a little bit more interesting or appealing to the student. So, and this one is specifically trying to help teach the student to remember to raise their hand when they need help. And that is all I have about social narratives. Thank you for listening.